Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Welcome to my September wrap up. Now I'm going to put a bit of a timestamp here. I'll see if I can figure out the blocks in the timeline so that those of you who don't really care about getting a life update from me can skip forward to the wrap up. I will try and be brief, but this is like the first video that I filmed in nearly a month, so I really just want to say hello and jump in and just kind of explain a little bit why I've been a bit absent. And the first piece of that is actually explaining I'm doing a wrap up again. I know I sort of announced that I wasn't going to be doing reading wrap ups, that I didn't feel like it was something that worked for my channel and that I was going to do dedicated reading vlogs. Well, I still really don't know what I'm concretely doing with my channel and with wrap-ups and vlogs and things like that, but I feel like I've been posting 2 videos a week for about a year or more, pretty much since I've kind of jumped back into booktube, and I just don't feel like at the moment that 2 videos a week are sustainable for me in my life at the moment, and therefore doing 1 video a week, which I hope I can keep up with, is only 4 videos a month. And so doing a dedicated reading vlog for each book that I read pretty much will just make my channel be totally about reading vlogs, and I don't necessarily want to do that. I enjoy doing like this format where I'm talking to you guys, and I just feel like it'd be a bit boring if I was just doing reading vlogs all the time. I would still like to do reading vlogs in the future. I just don't I don't know, it's just gonna be a big experiment to see how I'm going. Maybe I'll pick like 1 reading vlog per month or something, I don't really know, or if I'm reading a book that I feel like I have a lot of thoughts on. I have a Halloween vlog coming up soon where I'm going to read 2 different graphic novels on Halloween day and night and do a reading vlog to document that, so that'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up. But aside from that, I'm not really sure what's going on. So I've had a bit going on personally, which has sort of made me be really tired and drained a lot of the time. I'm still going to work full time, but because of like the other stuff going on, I just have not felt like reading, and particularly not really feeling like reading anything new. I've been doing a bit of rereading at the moment, as you guys would know if you saw my reading vlog for the White Mare, and I just don't feel like, hopefully soon, but I'm rereading something else at the moment because I almost feel like I'm in a bit of a slump in that because of what's been going on, I've trained my brain to think that reading is like really difficult. So I'm just reading things that I enjoy and that are fun. At the moment I'm rereading The Queen of the Tilling by Erica Johansson, and I absolutely loved that book. So hopefully then I will be right to go, because I actually have a buddy read lined up with Sandy from Ms. Read-A-Lot. We are going to be reading My Dark Vanessa on the 15th of this month. So I should be right. I'm getting all my stuff sorted. It's just that September's been a bit difficult for me. So let's get into the wrap up, which is not going to be super interesting. There's DNFs to talk about, but we'll go from there. Oh, in case anybody's wondering, this is my TBR at the moment. It hasn't really changed or moved much. Hopefully sometime soon I'll be able to eat that down. And basically all of my reading plans of my 4-book cycle have gone completely out the window because it's been so difficult to read. I don't know if I'm going to pick them up again or whether I'm just going to continue to read when I feel like it. I don't know. We'll see. On the 11th of September, I DNF'd my non-fiction book, which is Understanding Sharia, Islamic Law in a Globalized World by Rakif S. Abdullah and Muhammad M. Kassaji. So this one was probably a case of it was too difficult for me to be reading off the bat. These 2 guys are scholars and I know that they're brilliant just based on the parts that I did read, but I was pretty much having to Google every second, well not every second word, but nearly every paragraph. I was having to stop and Google a word, and even though I was reading it in an ebook form, so it was a lot easier to hit the Google button and research it really quickly without having to sort of put down the physical book and type it on my phone. I could just click it and it would link to the dictionary. It was still really jarring and I just didn't really feel like reading. So I hope maybe one day I will go back to it and get into it a bit more. But I basically just wanted to pick it up because of the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, and I wanted to understand a bit more what exactly Sharia law was. And I still kind of stand by that, but I just feel like being a complete non-fiction newbie beginner, it was probably something that I went in a little bit too deep, and I probably needed to stick with easier stuff to begin with than going in and reading like this like scholarly discussion on religion. So hopefully I'll come back to it, but that's it for now. Now the only book that I ended up finishing in September is the one that I did the reading vlog about, so I'm not going to talk much about it, but that's The White Mare by Jules Watson. I will link my reading vlog down below if you guys are interested in reading. This was a reread for me. It's a historical fiction about when Rome is trying to conquer Scotland, which at the time was called Alba, so that was AD 79. It is a book about a woman named Ryan who is trying to learn more about herself and to try and get past the trauma that's happened in the past, as well as protect her tribe from the Roman invaders. So I highly recommend this book. I really enjoy it if you enjoy historical fiction. It is an adult book, but it's not like very smutty like some stuff can be. I don't know whether the second book is because I can't remember a lot. I'm sure there are sex scenes in it, but the ones that are in here are more about like how the characters feel and not necessarily like part A goes into part B and that kind of thing happens. But if you want more of my thoughts on this, then please check out my reading vlog. The next book I attempted is This Poison Heart by Kayleen Bayron. I haven't taken out the bookmark because I maybe want to pick this up again, but it was sort of a case where I was a little bit unfortunately bored. I wasn't very far in. I was at page 30. So really not that far in. So it's about this young girl, about this, I think she's about 15, so this teenage girl who has this power that she can cause flowers and plants to grow, but it can be a bit dangerous if she doesn't control it properly. The magic takes things from her, but also because it can be really hard to control, and so people notice, and it can be very dangerous because like plants can be super destructive, as we all know, when they're allowed to sort of grow a lot, and she's got to be really careful trying to control this. That was pretty much like the bit that I got it to. It does talk more on the back of the book in the blurb about how she inherits her ancestors' land, which is like this rambling old rundown mansion that has all of these like dying grounds on it and plants, and she can finally use her power to resurrect all these plants and ends up like finding all these poisonous plants. So that part, probably if I keep reading, would be interesting, but this is where I really kind of hit like my slump and like my tiredness and fatigue, and so I just didn't really feel like pushing through on a book that wasn't super interesting. So I don't know whether this is a case of this book is too young for me now, but also I feel like that's maybe a bit of a cop-out, and I hope that I'm probably going to give it to the end of the year to pick up this book again and see whether I enjoy it or not. But if it sounds interesting, then go for it, because I honestly only got up to page 30 and I had all this other stuff going on. The next book I attempted was a reread, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. There was nothing really wrong with this. I picked it up because that's what I kind of felt like at the time. I sort of read a few pages and then I decided that it wasn't what I sort of really felt like reading. There was nothing wrong with the book itself. As I said, it's a reread. I've always enjoyed it and I will probably reread it from start to finish. Again, I just wasn't as in the mood as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't really gripping me, and I really needed a book that was going to grip me so that it was worth it to kind of prioritize it in my life when I didn't really have a lot of energy to do a lot of things. So that is the end of my September wrap up. It has gotten better, as I said. I am feeling a bit better, especially today because I am filming and I am currently reading the Queen of the Tealing. I'm not very far in, but I'm enjoying it as well, and I even have thoughts to continue the whole trilogy and then read the prequel that I haven't before. But tell me how your reading went in September. I hope a lot better than mine. Give me a brief life update as well. I feel like I've been out of touch with everybody and I miss you all. So I would love to chat to you in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Bye!